Using timecode triggers to control shows is now an industry-wide standard which allows you to ensure a smooth reproduction of the same show from venue to venue, as well as ensuring that any timing critical elements of your show happen just when you want them to. Let's take a look at how we set up timecode in AI. So first of all, I'm going to open up my system settings, and we're going to look at this second module down on the left which relates to timecode. So first of all, if we're using an external device such as a MIF4 or another timecode generator, we should be able to choose the item in this drop down list. So here we can see that I've chosen my MIF4 that I've got plugged in for this example. The next thing we'd need to do is actually enable our timecode widget. So first of all, we need to show it in the interface, and then we can activate it either by using the button in the system settings or by left clicking on the widget itself in the interface. If you are using one of our hardware servers, you do have the potential to use the LTC port as well, so that's timecode over an audio cable. If you are making use of this, just simply select the button so that it says using LTC, and then the server will automatically listen to that port. If you're ticking this option and using the LTC port, you don't need to select a device in the drop down. I'm going to stay on the MIF4 for now. So the next option that we have is whether or not we use freewheel timecode. So just to explain the difference between freewheel and locked timecode. So with freewheel timecode, the timecode trigger is purely a trigger for the start of the clip. Once the clip has been triggered, it will then use the internal system clock to let it play along of its own accord. However, in some situations, such as theatres and large-scale productions, you may want to lock your clip to the timecode. Now, when the clip is locked to the timecode, the clock will only move to the next frame when the clock signal tells it to. So, if the external clock stops or pauses, so will the clip which is locked to that clock. We also have a timecode base rate, so this is the frames per second for the timecode. It's very important that this is matched to the same value as the clock which is sending the timecode. Otherwise, there's a very good chance you're going to miss some of your timecode triggers. Okay, so now that we've got that set up, let's look at how we assign values to the clips in AI. So within the interface, there are a couple of ways to do this. We can either right-click on a clip, and once right-clicking, we can see that we have a timecode entry box, so I can just click in there and enter a number of my choice. The other way is to do this from the interface itself. So if I press the home key, we can see these entry points for the timecode triggers now. If I select one of my clips, we'll find that once we can see that trigger, we can then use page down and page up to adjust the frames, shift and page down and up to adjust the seconds, control and page down and page up to adjust minutes, and shift and control and page up and down to adjust the hours, allowing you to get any of your times within a 24-hour clock. It's worth remembering that 24:00:00:00 is considered a safe time. If you think of a 24-hour clock, you never actually hit that time. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to set up a couple of quick timecode triggers here. So my timecode generator is going to start at 1 hour. So I'm going to put my first clip onto 1 hour. Now let's just grab a couple of the other clips, and we'll also put some values in there. So this one I'm going to put up at 1 hour and 10 seconds. Then for my third clip, again I'm using the shift control page up and page down. And let's shift and page up and down. There we go. So I'm going to put this one onto 20 seconds. There we go. And last but not least, the fourth clip. So shift control page down, and then shift and page up, and I'm going to put this one on 30 seconds. Okay, So another important thing, if you want to guarantee absolute quality playback, it can be worth choosing MTC as the play mode. So again, if the clip is on MTC play mode, it will be listening for that clock and the next frame signal to move to its next frame. Okay, so once we are happy with the timecode values that we've entered, I'm going to left click on the timecode widget to activate it. And then if I start up my timecode generator, we should start to see this widget actually showing some activity. So there we go. So we can see that the meter on the widget, the outer ring, is showing frames, then we've got seconds, then minutes, then hours. We've also got this timecode readout there, and as we can see, as we're progressing through that time, it's triggering the correct clip at the correct time. So we've got another one coming in 2, 1, here we go. There we go, and so just a few more seconds, and then we'll get our last clip triggered. 7, 8, 9, here we go. So there you go. So timecode triggering is nice and easy, and it's very easy to see all of your timecode values and adjust them as required.